Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Steven from Clutch Pythons, and today we're going to continue the video series of the best 5 ball pythons for beginner breeders. And we're going to end the video series with a big one. Well, kind of. We're going to end it with the normal or classic ball python. All right, everybody. So I've got a normal ball python. And I want to talk about a couple different things when it comes to why I think the normal is a great ball python for a beginner. Number one, it's kind of obvious. It's a normal. Now this is one of just 3 of my breeders that I'm going to be breeding this year. And when I bought her, I paid $50 for her. Now, when you're getting into ball python breeding, $50 is a steal. Especially when you consider that you're trying to expand your collection and you're buying really expensive snakes. Normals are a godsend. Now, when it comes to normals, I want you to look for a couple of things. Number one, I want you to look for obviously females. And number 2, I want you to look for something that has other genes possibly in it. Now, I bought this girl for $50, actually just a few weeks ago. And the guy that I bought her from said that the breeder said she was het for something, but he didn't know what or couldn't remember. And so I didn't know that when I contacted him about buying her, but I noticed that she was incredibly different. It's hard to see on camera, but she's very dark on top. And in fact, I would say that she just looks a little bit nicer than just my other normals that I have. And when I turned her belly upside down, boy, she has some really strong markers for the pi gene. Now, I don't know if she's het pied, but I do know that she's got some very strong markers, and the guy that I bought her from said she was het for something, but he couldn't remember what. Now, I'm not going to try to prove this girl out this year, but I will next year. And if this girl proves out to be het pied, I will have purchased one of the best snakes for my collection. Can you imagine $50 het pied female ready to breed? That is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and put this girl back, give her a break. She's not really used to me yet. I've only had her for a few weeks, and so I don't want to stress her out too much. But I'll give you one more close-up of her. She seems to be super sweet. She's a little flighty right now, but she's got, I wish I could get her tail unwound. She's got, in my opinion, she's got the het pied markers. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I've got another snake here for you who is a normal, but she's also het for Desert Ghost. This is the newest hatchling that I just added to my collection. I spent $100 for her at a reptile show. She's very hissy. She obviously hasn't been handled very much, but we'll take care of that pretty quickly. Since I had my own clutch this year and the hatchlings that I hatched, you know, they were a little hissy at the beginning. I understand it just takes a little bit of her getting used to me for her to actually be a little bit more handleable. But she's got the normal patterning, normal colors, nothing visual striking about her. I do think that she looks better, just a tiny little bit better than just a regular normal. But if I didn't know that she was het Desert Ghost, I wouldn't think too much of her. Now, that Het Desert Ghost, I only spent $100 for her, but by the time she's a breeder, her value will have at least tripled, quadrupled. I don't know, maybe she'd be even worth more than that. I think it's very possible considering that Desert Ghost is one of the most coveted genes right now. It just looks so good when you combine it with pastel and other lightning genes. And in fact, it looks good with just about anything because it cleans up the pattern and it brightens it up, and Desert Ghost looks good over time. Now, when considering normals for your ball python breeding, I want you to not pass up on the cheap normal female ball pythons. You can find them from $50 all the way up to a couple $100. I suggest you do your homework, especially when it comes to the areas that you live in, because each area is going to be a little bit different depending on the population size. At least that's what I believe. Look for females that aren't too old so that you know that they have good possibility of producing a fair amount of eggs. Also, you might want to consider buying pets from owners, because most likely they will never have been bred. Look for ball pythons that are obviously healthy, that they are going to fit into your breeding plans. Don't buy every normal that you come across. Be selective and be smart. Now, remember, when it comes to buying normal ball pythons, you're buying them because they're cheap. They're not gonna break the bank. So don't spend a lot of money on normals, but keep your eye open for great deals. Normal ball pythons can be used for proving out genes and expanding the amount of eggs that you'll get in a year without spending a lot of money. And it's because of those reasons today that I think the normal, also Het ball pythons, will make great ball pythons for beginner breeders. Well, that wraps it up. We've had 5 videos and I've talked about 5 ball pythons that I think are great beginner snakes for beginner breeders. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and we'll see you next time.